These are the supplies that I use to demonstrate how to do the 5-finger weaving or the toe weaving for my 4th grade students. I demonstrate with yarn because it's a little bit thicker and it's a little bit easier for the students to see. They use actual embroidery floss because it doesn't stretch and it doesn't get tangled quite as easily. So what I do is I show them how to take their string and measure out 2 feet of the string that they need. So I show them a couple different ways to do this, but I take all 3 of my strings, take a ruler, okay, I stick them on the end, I wrap, here's 1 foot, and then I wrap it on the back side, and there's 2 feet. Flip it, and there is our 2 feet of string. They then need to take all of the ends, and tie them together. A lot of times I end up doing a lot of the tying in the beginning, which is fine. It's really fast and easy. I show them that if they don't have a loop, they have not done this part correctly. They should have a nice big loop with all of their ends together. And I pass out duct tape, as I found the other tape doesn't tend to stick quite as well. Tape it down to said table. I oftentimes have to persuade it to stick a little bit more than the average person. You take your loops, separate them. I'm going to tape down my paper a little bit here. I have brown tables, so it's kind of hard to see against them. So you separate your loops and put them on your fingers. I always tell the kids to do bear claws, and then point them towards the table. They have a loop, goes on a finger like that. I probably shouldn't have used white string for you. Hopefully you'll be able to see them okay. So here are our 3 things. If you look at my fingers, I've got 1 on this hand and these 2 on these. My pointer finger is free, has no string on it. There's a couple ways to explain this to the kids. One of them is to go, take your pointer finger and go over the first string, under the second string, over. If you slide your thumb in there with it, you're going to grab the very outside string. And as you pull it through, it's going to come off this finger right here. Pull it through. It goes like that. Then you're going to weave with this hand, except for this one has string on it, so you got to move it down. Now that it's free, you go over, under, over, and grab this outside string. And again, it's going to come off that finger, and you're going to pull it through. Move it down. Over, under, over, grab the outside string, pull it through, and you continue this process. Now, if you have students that really struggle with the idea of over, under, over, this is another thing I show them. Again, you have to have this finger free, and you go through the first one. Sometimes it's just a matter of the words you use. If you go through the first one, through the second one, so you can see I went through both sets of strings right there, and you still are going to grab the outside string. And then you got to move it down again, through the first one, through the second one, pull it through, move it down, through the first string, through the second string, pull it through, and it keeps on going. Now the great thing about this is then when you add extra strings, you always still weave with this first finger, you just have more pieces to go through. And as they do it, my strings are a little bit different in size, but they will start to braid. I don't know if you can get this to focus in on here or not. Here's one with about 7 strings, and the great thing about the braid is the braid actually goes all the way around, which is pretty neat.